everyone. I'm Christina Guerrero.
And I'm Jimmy Rhodes. And sometimes, KG, it seems like life is a never-ending hamster wheel of housework, doing the dishes, do the laundry, mop the floor, rinse, repeat.
Sounds like the story of my life. So one woman caught our ear when we heard her say it is time to stop shaming ourselves for having a home that looks like someone actually lives in it.
She's clearly not OCD. Learning that it's okay to be messy is our featured story at the top of the list.
A sink full of dirty dishes, a pile of laundry on the floor. These are the things that can make us feel inadequate or ashamed at the state of our homes.
I think most of us have had that experience where the house just got cleaned and like the first little mess someone makes, we're like, it like gives you anxiety because you're like, it's gone, it's done, all my hard work. But it's not intended to look like a showroom. It's intended to be functional.
Casey Davis is a licensed professional therapist and author of the book, How to Keep House While Drowning. She started posting videos on TikTok and realized there was a whole community of people out there dealing with the same issues.
Struggling with those daily tasks creates a lot of shame that I think it's important to remind people that it's a pretty human experience to struggle with those tasks.
So before you start that shame spiral, remember that messiness is not a moral failing.
And so I think recognizing that laundry, dishes, cleaning, they're just morally neutral tasks like getting your oil changed and your lawn mowed.
Just because you have laundry piling up does not mean that you're a bad person, parent, spouse, or friend.
Listen, we want to eat off of clean dishes because we want to be safe, we want to be healthy, we want to have a stress-free morning when we're making breakfast, but that literally is the end of it.
A lot of times this shame happens because of traditional gender roles in society. I mean, after all, just a few generations ago, women were relying on marriage to survive.
So what we see now as, oh, Nana's just really judgmental, like really has some roots in like, no, like at some point, like Nana was trying to make sure you weren't on the street.
And so as that attitude dies out, it's vital to stop seeking out what's supposedly normal and instead look for what's functional.
And I think when you recognize that if care tasks are only functional and they're cyclical, then you're not under any obligation to make like every care task cycle lined up at done and keep it there all the time.
Right. Let's face it, the dishes will never be done. The kitchen will never be spotless, and that's okay as long as your home is serviceable for you. And if you live with someone else, make it a discussion.
The reality is that most people have sort of mismatched tolerance for mess so that you can say, hey, we need enough dishes to get through the day and I need to have access to the sink. Maybe not the whole sink, but some of the sink.
And at the end of the day, the most important thing to do is to be kind to yourself.
Self-compassion is a lot more accessible because it doesn't require that you like yourself or that you think you did the right things today. It doesn't require you to compare yourself to anyone else.
And if that still sounds hard?
And the answer is you practice being compassionate towards yourself about not being very good at self-compassion. Like that's where it starts.
So it's okay if you don't have each and every sock put away, or if you need to dust a little, because it's okay to be messy. And that's at the top of the list.